I'm going to ask my current guest, who is Patty Daly Caruso, what her favorite Sinatra song is. But first, I want to tell you a little something about her. For the last 16 years, she's been producer and host of the longest-running television talk show in the Coachella Valley, Valley Views. She now does periodic specials on CBS's local Channel 2 KPSP. And we will chat with her also about her spokesperson work and her many awards. But we will begin by talking about her upcoming holiday television special. Patty, it is so great to have you here. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
This is great. First of all, I want to know, do you have a favorite Sinatra song? I'm sure you do.
You know what? I have to tell you that we have a Sinatra album. My husband plays it in his office. I love every song on it. I could not possibly choose a favorite.
Absolutely.
I love the man.
It is hard, and my favorites always change. But anyway, now we're here to talk about you. So I want to let people know that that your holiday special is on Sunday, December 12th from 4 to 5 p.m. on KPSP Local 2. And I know how proud you are of your career, but we have to begin with probably your proudest achievement, and that is your 2 children and your grandkids. Now, you have a well-known son who we all know, but maybe there's somebody out there who doesn't know. And what is his name?
His name is Carson Daly.
And he has his own show called?
He does. He has a late night television talk show, Last Call with Carson Daly, but he just went back to radio last January. He's at AMP Radio in Los Angeles, and he's always loved radio. And he's doing a great job. And he has a little boy who's going to be 2 in March. And he's absolutely a wonderful father. Well, and he has a sister, Quinn, who is great. Well, I was going to ask you about
Quinn. She's in the business, too. So what does she do?
She is a senior vice president in charge of marketing for Demand Media. Busy job. And she has 2 little girls, 5 and almost 2.
And I'm going to ask you to name all the grandchildren, and then we're going to send them hugs and kisses.
Oh, I love that. So first is Jaden Patricia.
How old?
And she'll be 5. Just turned 5. What am I saying? Just turned 5 the day before Thanksgiving. And next came Jackson James. And Jackson will be 2 in March. And then Catherine, named after my mom, Catherine Ann, and she will be 2 in April. So they're the 3 Musketeers.
Well, we are here then to send them all hugs and kisses out there because they're going to hear Grandma, because you can listen live on KPTR1450.com. So there's hugs and kisses from me, too.
Oh, thank you.
Well, let's talk about your special. Let's begin by your telling us what we can expect to see on your special, and then we'll get into some specifics.
You know what? There is so much
I know.
Jammed into this hour.
Give us some idea.
It's kind of... First and foremost, Santa, as busy as he is this time of year, found time to show up to just be so great with these 12 kids.
The kids are going to love that, and your grandkids are going to love that. My grandkids are.
Oh, he was great. We did it at the Marriott Desert Springs. Thank you guys over there. And he got off the gondola and came up to see the kids and was wonderful. But the whole hour really is, there are so many charities here in the Coachella Valley. And so we've covered a few of those that day. We have a holiday Hanukkah Christmas wish list.
Sure.
We have What's Up Coachella Valley, which is a community calendar, and it's hard to cover everything that's coming up, but we gave it a shot.
Could you tell us a little bit about the entertainers that we're going to be seeing? Just who's going to be on?
Melissa Baellas, who, no, I said that wrong. I mean, the way she says it's so beautiful. She won the McCallum Open Mic Award.
Oh, right.
And she actually opens our show. She sings Winter Wonderland. And then we have 2 precious little girls, Tiffany and Rebecca, and they sang I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus and... Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Oh, those are 2 of my favorites. Well, I love them all. That's for sure. Well, we don't want to give away any surprises, but will you have any other entertainers on as well?
Those are our entertainers because we try to give time to. We have a really, really warm, wonderful story, and it's someone that you know, Andrea Carter, who had a phone call not too long ago, and it was her birth family, her brothers and her mom and dad, because she was adopted, and it has just turned into the greatest
Oh my.
Christmas story because they're going to have a reunion. And her parents, her natural parents, when she was born and they gave her up for adoption, for which she thanks them. She has such an incredible mom and dad and wonderful family. But they ended up getting married, and they had 3 boys. And so she has 3 brothers that she didn't know that she
wow.
has. So it's
Isn't
just,
that something?
Yeah, absolutely spectacular.
That's
And then someone you
amazing.
also know very well, Elaine Church is on, and she talks a lot about Palm Springs women in film and television, and she talks about the Broken Glass Awards, and talk about celebrities. Boy, they have them lined up for that.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
That's in March.
Well, you're going to be
March
there.
4th.
I know that.
I'll
You're
be
going to be
there.
there in March. I'm going to be there too. We're all going to be there.
Yeah.
Well, Patty, you've done a lot of charity work, but I specifically wrote myself this question to ask you because I think your latest one is probably one of the biggest, and that is your partnership with the Gold Store.
Oh.
Could you explain how that works and how much money has been raised so far for charity? I think that's absolutely incredible.
It really is. I don't really know of anything like this, but Rob and Darren are just so community-minded, and I've been thrilled to be their spokesperson for a year. And they had a program where if you went in and you took your gold or silver, and they would say to you, who would you like for us to give 10% of this amount of money to? And so they recently had just an incredible event, and they gave over $100,000 to over
Amazing.
100 charities here in the Coachella Valley.
Amazing.
Yes, truly.
Well, I drive by that billboard of yours on my way to the studio, and I have to smile every time I see it. It is so great. I just like, oh, there's Patty.
That's
Go,
so
girl.
sweet of you. I've had a lot of comment, let me tell you. In fact, I said on my show there was a guy up at Ironwood at a party, and I walked in, and he came running over to me, and he pulled his cheek back, and he said, "Do you think they'll take this gold tooth?" So
I'm sure they will if he brings his dentist to pull it out. That's amazing.
It's been a
Yeah,
lot
there
of
was
fun.
another billboard that I saw today for the Athena Award that Jackie Lee's going to get, amongst others. I'm sure
Oh,
you're going to
yes.
be at that one too. So
Absolutely.
there's 2 billboards, but yours was first. So I thought that was
So funny.
terrific. That was really great. Now, you're also spokesperson for the Ronald McDonald House. You know, that's the thing about you. You certainly have been doing all of this television work and radio work and everything else, but you are spokespersons for so many charities. You are the events leader for a particular fundraising event. It goes on and on and on, but I was especially interested in the Ronald McDonald House. Could you explain what it is, and do you ever get to interact with the kids and their families?
You know what? Every year they have a golf tournament and just a wonderful dinner. And the people who work with them are amazing. And they have some of the kids, they have a fabulous, fabulous film. And I mean, I can't get through it without crying year after
Oh, well,
year.
no, of course not.
But what they do is so amazing to help families who have children who have health issues. And of course, all of the cancer groups here in the Coachella Valley are amazing. We have Pain El Paseo Pink. We went and covered that back in October. And it's, the Desert Samaritans for seniors, what they do is phenomenal.
Well, everything is.
Yes.
That's for sure. Now, do we have a Ronald McDonald House here in the Valley? Not yet.
I
But
thought Loma Linda is the one
Yes.
I know of.
yes. But, well, maybe someday we will. Now, I know as I said, you've hosted many charity events, and I know naming a favorite is like naming your favorite grandchild. But, well, I think breast cancer has to be one of your most personal commitments. Can
Well,
you
it
talk
definitely-
about that a little
It
more?
definitely is. And truly, I think that what they're doing, breast cancer research, all of the things that they're learning that are so beneficial to women who just need to be aware and be sure and get their mammograms. That's I think, the most important thing. And after the Pain El Paseo Pink Walk, unfortunately, I had to leave very quickly because Carson was doing a bicycle ride in Los Angeles. My kids are so supportive. And I think it's a family thing. I don't think there's anybody who has not been touched by cancer in some
Absolutely.
way.
That's true, and it definitely is a family thing. That's for sure. Well, I want to thank you for your involvement in that. Let's talk a little bit about your founder and chairperson of Media Mavens. Let's talk about what Media Mavens is all about, and why you started the group.
You know, it was about 10 years ago, 10 or 11, and I just thought all of the women in radio, television, print, advertising, marketing have so much in common, but they weren't always too connected. And so I thought, why not get everybody together? It's a social group once a month. The restaurants are phenomenal. They love having us for an hour and a half, and we get to be together and commiserate, as it were.
Commiserate. I like that term. I like to commiserate.
And Judy Vossler and Janet Newcomb have been there since the beginning, and they are the real heart and soul of it. Each time I've had a grandbaby, I've sort of backed away from things. And
yes.
I love being here, but I love being in Santa Monica with them. So that's like trying to do a show and be a grandma.
It's
and
tough.
A lot of things. It is, but I love all of it.
I know you do.
Yeah.
do. But that's why you're concentrating more on the specials, isn't that?
It is.
And
That's
doing that.
Yeah. And the
kind of
people at KPSP, I mean, Barry, I love you. They're phenomenal to work with.
Well, that's great.
And I started with them in 2002 when they kicked off. I was doing Eye on the Desert, entertainment reporting, and just loved everybody then, still do. And Jackie Lee Houston is queen of the world in my book. Everybody knows that. And so I feel really, really good that for all those years when I did my show every day or every week, I was at 10. In fact, my email, if anybody wants to be on the next show, is pattytv10 at AOL, because I just never changed the 10. But I love, love, love being at KPSP.
Well, this is the great thing about you, too. Whether it's your TV show or your special or sitting here in the studio, you always manage to mention all of these people that you have worked with. And I think that's the thing that people respect so much about you.
That's
and it's
very
really
sweet
great.
of you to say.
Well, it's the truth. But, I also want the listeners to know, in case, because there's a lot of things you don't talk about, but you actually had your first radio show when you were 17.
I did.
And what was the name of that show? I loved the name.
Pat's Platter Party.
Pat's Platter Party. What did you do
I ran my
on
own
that?
board. I did the whole thing. Oh, there it is. That's exactly what we used. I mean, it's way different today.
Yeah. What did
but
you do
I did
on
want to
that?
tell you that, Cher's movie is out, Burlesque, and her mother, Georgia Holt, lived here. Many, many people, you knew her, Steve. Many people knew and loved her, but she did move up to Los Angeles. Her daughters, Cher and Georgianne, wanted her to do that, but I had dinner with her last Friday night, and she wanted me to be sure and say hello to everybody out here because she misses the fantastic people here in the Coachella Valley.
Yes, and I had the pleasure of being introduced to her one time, and she's quite a gal.
She's amazing.
That's the
She's
fun
84.
part. Yes.
And you would never, ever believe
Don't believe
that.
it. Well, look at Cher. I mean, you don't
I
believe it
know.
either, but that's the fun part about being here. You know what? What else do you want to say to everyone that's out there
Just
about
have a
holidays
fabulous
and your
holiday.
special and
Please,
watch the
December
special.
12th,
That's
4 to
what
5.
we want to say.
Oh, I
We
want to tell you that if you miss it, or if you see it and want to see it again, it will be up at Patty, PATTIE.TV, anywhere, anytime, forever. And my family in North Carolina is thrilled. So yeah, I
that
just
is
want
going-
everybody to
yes,
have a
well,
fabulous
Let's mention the date again.
holiday. December 12th, 12/12, 4 to 5.
4 to 5.
Channel 2.
Okay, and Patty, you know what I want you to do? It's so great. I want you to say to everyone right now what it is that you say as you end every show. I think everyone loves that.
I'll tell you, that started because my dad didn't write it. I think Eleanor Roosevelt actually wrote it, but when my very first show, I said this, and I thought each week I'm going to say something that's inspirational. Everybody loved it and said, we want to hear it again and again and again. And it's yesterday's history. Tomorrow's a mystery. Today's a gift. And that's why we call it the present. Live in the now moment. And I think that's so important.